Yes.
No, that's okay. We can recording in progress. ¿Sí? ¿Será que no tengo los problemas? ¿Me oyen? ¿Sí?
So my idea until now is that if I would meet someone who is also in this
In
knows
this,
about the subject, it would be easier to interact with that kind of person. And I'm like searching and searching, and I just can't handle any character next to myself. It's like so difficult to interact with.
I found that life is better to live like a Newton life.
Mhm.
You know, I believe in the theory of Newton. It's better the apple to fall on your head than looking for some answers or anything. If it happens, it happens. See, the fact that two people are interested in this knowledge, that doesn't necessarily mean that they will get along, right? Compatibility, there may be or there might not be compatibility of characters. So, is this possible or not? So there's nothing written on stone. You may be interested in this, tomorrow you may no longer be interested in this. So, if both are interested in this, and none of them is awakened, then the spiritual egos may begin to have issues. It is possible. I'm not saying it is not possible. Certainly it is possible. I had this idea too. Okay.
But okay, so then
That was the few ideas that were left.
then with non, so to say, awakened person, it's even worse. It's all about ego play. Like I do this, you do that. I. What we do. It's like so.
You can find a good person, right? Person with a pure mind or with a balanced mind. That may be a person pleasant to be with. But it is about that. It's either pleasant or unpleasant. So that is the thing about relationship. Today is pleasant, tomorrow may not be pleasant for one reason or the other. So if one can handle it, fine. Otherwise, anyway, if it is meant to happen, will happen. And if it is not meant to happen, it will not happen. I was not supposed to be in a relationship anymore. I said, that's it, I'm done. Okay. And there is she. She showed off out of the blue. Okay. I was not supposed to be able even to have more children. Okay. And after years of being diagnosed that there is no chance that you can bring life to this world, look, there is syndrome. So what happened? What happened?
The window didn't open.
No, he's hungry. See, look, he's putting the nose in the. Let's wait for Nancy to come out. Yeah, now we have to take all the glasses and the cups away, otherwise he do that. During the day, no. So,
No.
what is a relationship? It can be romantic, it can be family, it can be friend, it can be business, it can be work, it can be nature, it can be with yourself, right? So, even Ramana says, if you are meant to be married, you will be married. If you are not meant to be married, you will not be married. It's better to let go of yourself. Not of this or that, yourself. Forget about yourself. Just forget about yourself. What self is that anyway? Right? But allow things to happen by itself. At the end, you just have to wait to draw. Who wants to come back here again? Another life. Let it be the last one. That's it. That's enough. Right? And all these ideas is what brings another body, you know. There is something left. It's a desire, something that we hasn't been satisfied, right? Whatever we hold there in that little box as a, how you call it? Bucket list. So you have still a bucket list. Okay? The bucket may show up. Baba used to say that to us. Let it be this one, the last one. So leave it fully. Okay, live this life fully, but let it be the last one. Right? Live it fully. So whatever it is, you go along with it, right? And at the end of the day, we are not even born. Right? We are not even here. As consciousness, we are not here. I mean, here. We are completely out of here already. Right? And once you know that, right, really, then all these questions about this and that seem to not arise. I would never believe, but even in my wildest dream, that I was going to be back in Venezuela in the island, right? And here I am. How was my life before? I was talking to people publicly, and now what? See, you came from Germany. Few people come, the rest is online. So you never know, right? You never know. And Carlitos told you that, no? Carl Renz.
So,
That the fact that you wake up, that doesn't mean that life is going to be a garden of roses. Sometimes life gets hectic. No? Such shit. Yeah. He also went through, no? I think he went through surgery lately. The gallbladder was removed, I think. Lungs also.
maybe like 2 years ago, I think it was lungs.
Lungs.
Surgery. Yeah.
Lung surgery. Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, crap. Nastya, lung surgery. I didn't know that. I thought it was a gallbladder. This what I knew.
I'm pretty sure it was lungs. He said in one of his talks that he had he lost some capacity of the lungs because
Yeah.
yeah.
So there you are. He lost.
Yeah.
Shame.
A couple of years ago, I think, like a year and a half ago. Because someone asked him to speak louder, and he said, "I can't because I just recovered from surgery. I had lungs."
Yes. He doesn't like to wear microphones or anything. So don't even come close to me with that.
Oh yeah.
Say microphony. You will not microphoning me. Or now he just put his MP3 machine there and record his own thing. We are not interested in see all this is okay. See, people are interested in this, welcome. You want recordings? Welcome. You want videos? Welcome. You want broadcast? Welcome. You want to come? Welcome. Entonces, si quieren grabaciones, grabaciones. Quieren broadcast, broadcast. Quieren venir, vienen. Quieren texto. Texto no tanto. Yo realmente no tengo la inclinación de escribir. A veces saco un extracto, una cosa por aquí, por allá, pero... Sorry.
Yes.
So, Benson. Send my love to him and to see him.
I would.
So, we don't even, somebody wants to talk about this, welcome. See, if the person has a sincere question and honest uh, intention, then fine. Otherwise, what's the point? Yeah. Yeah, basically, I don't know if the word force is the right word to use. Forced to do that, right? Like you have no choice. Carlitos told me if I don't talk about this, I have terrible headaches. It's like you have to. Even when I try to do something else, nothing. Everything just collapses and sitting on this chair, see, talking to people, answering questions. If somebody wants to teach, be sure the ego is there. If somebody wants something, the ego is there. Understanding fully the meaning of wanting, right? You may have a life situation, and then you may have to look for a job. See, you're looking for the natural ways to keep the body alive. See, the means to give the body a job or whatever, food, shelter, clothing, whatever it is necessary, right? Even though you may succeed, you may not, right? Even if you are meant to fail, you have to do something in order to fail. You can't escape that. There's no escape, there's no way out. There's no way out. I didn't know about his lungs. I knew he got surgery in the, I think it was a gallbladder. Lungs, I didn't know. Shame. I myself may have to go through surgery also. Please. Success, failure, prize, criticism, pleasure and pain, all that is unavoidable, right? What is our present life? The result of previous thoughts and words and actions. Yeah? So we are basically listening the echo of what we shouted before. So what are your dreams? Yeah? It's the echo of thoughts, words, and action in the awakening state. Because they are similar, they are distorted, but it's basically the same story. No? If you see your dreams, they're similar to previous experiences in the awakening state. They are distorted, right? But it's basically the same concept, right? the same idea or the same desire or the same experience or the same like or the same dislike. Whether you like it or dislike it, it will reflect that in your dreams. If we pay attention to ourselves, we really observe oneself and interested in how our mind works and everything, right? What is this all about? Why do we want to sleep soundless?
Just sleep, sorry.
Why we want to sleep? Why do we want to experience deep sleep?
Be free.
It's a me-free state. The idea is to have the same state, experience the same state in the awakened state. In your dreams, you may have another body, another wife, another son, another job, living another planet, maybe, I don't know. Right? But it still is me. The idea that that thing, that is me. They are young. When they are young, right? I got a wake-up call very early stage. What was I saying?
That we got a wake up call very good.
Yes. Observation is the key. Even if it is at the beginning outside. Not analysis, not reasoning, it's observation. And when you see an old man, you say, she's I'm going there. So look at that. Hmm. Then what? And you say, what's the point? Right? And then you get into what's the point of all this? Right? Connected to the 5G. De que tengo los técnicos de la compañía de internet mientras hablamos, pues le voy a tomar una foto aquí a la pantalla un momentico, no se preocupen, no sé, para enviársela a la... por acá. Sí, Guille, me doy cuenta de que me desconecto. Tengo a los técnicos hablando porque se ha ido como 5 veces ya. Pero me dicen que todo está bien. So, where was I?
and you are looking at the old people and let's
Yes.
say what it's all about.
Yes, then you begin to question life, yeah, world. And when you see all that, you say, God, what's wrong with you? Right? How can you create such a thing? Right? And eventually you question yourself, your own existence. Right? Who am I? Am I? I'm actually, I actually am. Am I? So you are introspective, right? Observing, right? Or you go through hell, right, in life, and then you begin to question. But you don't believe, you question, right? You begin to look for answers for yourself. Not by asking questions to anybody, but for yourself. And the only way is by observing. Right? First, by being aware of things, just aware. And then by being aware of the one that is aware. Being awareness to oneself, self-awareness. That's the whole point. Self-awareness itself is self-realization. See, the path is the goal. I don't know if somebody got that today in the morning. The path is the goal. Self-inquiry, they call it the path, right? But the path itself is the goal. Because when you hold on to the I, or see from where the I itself arises, it disappears. That is already it, right? What remains is you. What is left is you. The residual that is left when the I is gone is I. So the other I is what? Right? That's a thought. This is what is called I thought. If it is a thought, it doesn't exist. And this is the meaning of it doesn't exist, because it is only a thought. Even when it merges in the source, it remains in a very subtle way, like a transparent, translucid, very subtle sense of self. That mind is dead. Dead means it loses the sense of separation from its source. It is the self. It's no longer conceived, perceived, known as a separate entity. It's so simple. It's so simple and so obvious. It's amazing. It's so simple and so obvious. Nobody missed the point. Too many ideas.
There's a lot of fear in a way.
Hmm?
A lot of fear in a way. So much. It's like scares me so much. So yeah.
For fear to be there must be duality. And for duality mode to be there must be a thought. So I am, which is body identity. I am afraid of this. I am this. So this is the object of fear. And I'm the subject of fear, right? I'm subject to this fear because I'm afraid of this. This is going to happen. This is not going to happen. I'm going to die, right? Why we are not afraid to go to sleep, which is like a mini death? Because death is the loss of body consciousness, right? Nobody's afraid of going to sleep.
Me is gonna be back in the morning.
Ah. Yes, because there is a belief that me is going to be back in the morning, and this me is I, and that me is actually me, right? And we make the coffin comfortable, right? To rest in peace for a few hours. I'm more concerned about pain than death. Okay, there is fear. Okay, fine, there is fear. Leave the fear alone. Because me is the one that has a problem with the fear. And it's the same me that created the fear, right? So look at the silly game of the ego. It creates a problem, right? And then wants to get rid of the problem, right? And it cries here and there, asking here and there, please help. Right? Guru, help me. And really, the ego doesn't want help. Really, it doesn't want help. It just wants to perpetuate the problem by asking for help. And then another ego, okay, more foolish than the one that is asking for help, offers help, right? And provides a thought that is going to help, see, to destroy another thought. How can you stop thinking? By the means of thinking, right? It makes no sense. So when you begin to see that operating in you, that's the end of it, or at least the beginning of the end of it. I create the problem, I am consciousness, and then I show up as ego. Right? I emerge as ego. Because the reality of the ego is consciousness, or the self, or whatever you like to call it. Because nowadays, so many words for the absolute. I'm afraid, and then I am afraid of the fear. So I bring more fear to the fear that already exists. It's an unconscious mind game. It's a trap. And there is fear and there is I, right? So leave the fear alone, or the desire alone, or the thought alone, or the emotion alone, or the feeling alone, or the physical sensation alone, or the perception alone. Leave everything alone. We are not to touch anything, or to change anything, or to transform anything, or to transmute anything, or to transcend anything, right? But there is that, apparently, and there is apparently also there is I, right? So we focus on I, which is a sword. This is the I sword. This is what Ramana meant by hold on to the I sword. The word self in hold on to the self is not your real self. That's stupid. So it's like two self, one is gonna hold the other one. Right? That makes no sense. So hold on to the self, this self is the ego, which is holding on to itself because apparently itself exists, and apparently we exist as the ego. Right? And when we look at oneself as the ego, or see from where the ego emerged, from where do I came from. This is what Ramana said to Papaji, come back to where you came from. Because Papaji believed he was the ego, right? We are the self, and we believe to be the ego. And then we as the ego ask from where this I itself came from. But it will never find anything. It will disappear there. Right? It will not find anything. Right? And Ramana was very clear about it. He said, there is no answer to the question, who am I? The question, who am I, dissolves itself, right? And it dissolves the questioner, which is not a question either. Question, who am I, means curiosity about I. See, attention goes to I. This is how you hold it, right? As you hold the attention on this, on the I thought. Ramana Maharshi says, hold on to the I thought. Connect your computer to the Wi-Fi, then open the navigator, put your IP. Why do I have to fix the problem? Why do I pay for it? Welcome to the self-service world. It's like when you go to the shop, are you gonna pay with debit card? Yes, pay with the machines. I don't work here. Why do I have to be paying by myself? Come and work with us. So hold on to the self, is to the ego self. Ramana says, hold on to the thought I. This I will remove the other thoughts. Means if you bring the attention to the thought I, other thoughts will disappear. And then he say, and this I will also disappear. better sense of it. So, hold on to the I thought. It's what some people say, hold on to the I am. But this I am is the I thought. In Sagadatta call it the I am. Carl, I think he uses the word I am too. I heard him saying, it was a very, it's interesting the attitude of the person, even he changed, because the response is according to the demand of the seeker, whether the seeker is aware of his attitude or not, it doesn't matter. Okay, the feedback is going to be according to, everything is already there, because the answer is also already there. It's as predestined as a question. It's just going to come out. It's going to come out as it is meant to come out. Kindly, sweet, harsh, no answer, right? And he said to this girl, hold on to the I am. The Sargadatta also said the I am, but this I am is the thought I. I am the body. They call it consciousness, the other call it mind. That calls awareness, the other call it consciousness. People get stuck in so many concepts, right? This is why it's important that when the person listen to understand. My English is getting so crappy. I'm not practicing. What does it mean? Your own sense of self, right? Your own knowledge of being. But where? What do I mean by where? Don't you know that you are? This is a paradox for at least for me or for us. What do I mean by where? What is this I, the one that is asking the question. Who is it, right? But they believe it's the body. So like put attention somewhere in the body now.
So be that you cannot not be.
Be what you cannot not be. Because this is what means that means the self. So self-awareness is basically be what you are. It's not doing anything. It's to be what you are. It's not to think of anything. It's not to think that I am. It's not to think I exist. But to be what you are. Just to exist, to be. So self-inquiry is not the panacea, I think is the word for spirituality. Self-inquiry for those who cannot be still straight away. Be still and know I am that. Right? Be still. People that can hardly be still for 1 second because the mind is always concerned about something, right? External, internal, right? Be still. Now, if you cannot be still straight away, then who is the I that cannot be still? Or from where the I that cannot be still emerge? That's the inquiry. As simple as that. Okay, now this I, from where it arose? Straight away, it's gone. And it comes back, so what? You bring it back until it no longer comes back. It will come back in a way that, as a thought that it is. So you will refer to yourself as the body, right? But there will be no identity with the body. Otherwise, how are you going to function in the world? How would you expect somebody at the airport, right? If you're in a waiting list, Brahman, see, you have a seat. Absolute. It's a seat for you, right? They will say, who is you? But you will say, I. Okay, please come and collect your ticket. Thank you very much. Cheers and goodbye. Off you go, right? So you will refer yourself as the body without identifying yourself as the body. And it's not that you are not this body. You are not only this body, you are everybody, right? You been with Carl, right? He says, I don't know what I am. I don't know what I am not. Right? What does that mean? I don't know what I am. This I am is the self. This I cannot know. This I can only be. I don't know what I am not. I am not is the illusion. Right? Because he knows I am the reality and I am the illusion. I don't know what I am. I don't know what I am not. Did you get it? First you say, I am not, I am not, I am not. Right? I am not this, I am not this, I am not this, neti, 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 neti. The one that says, I am not this, I am not this neither. Right? If I am none of it, then who am I? Hmm? And then you find, I am that. And what are you going to do with the I am not? You can't separate it from the I am. Right? Because the illusion is not separate from the reality. Hmm? Therefore, the illusion is the reality, the illusion is the self. I don't know what I am, I don't know what I am not. Did you get that? No? Hmm.
Okay, so
Hmm. So be what you cannot not be. The totality. Where are the others? When the identity is, you will see this body like you see a cup, you see a glass, a window, a dog, or a banana. Right? It's an object. It's no longer the subject. If there is identity with the body, I am the subject, and you are the object. I and you. That's mine. Basically, I and you. Or I am this, I am that. Some people call this the I am, some people call it the I thought, people call it the I. It is so important and the people understand. And it's better if the person is just listening. Just listening. It will just break through. It will freeze your mind and it will blow it away. Lamana said so. Some of the most advanced seeker, you don't need to tell him a thing. You have to be in the physical presence of the so-called guru, or whatever you like to call it, is enough. Okay, you will experience the state that the guru is experiencing. The other one is you tell them the truth to that seeker. If I'm telling me, if somebody is telling me I am that already, right? What is the question of practice and effort to be what I am already? It simply does not arise. And by this understanding, automatically the mind keeps quiet. Mind keeping quiet, self-revealing itself. And then the next one is, yes, but then who is this I? Right? The inquiry. If by the means of inquiry it doesn't help, then you must go do something else. Right? Some practice, or I am. You can go through the negative process, I am not this, I am not this, I am not that. Or you can go through the positive process, I am that, I am that. First, I am not. You can say, I am not the body, and hold on to that thought, or hold on to the thought, I am the self. You can match that with your presence. And so many practices are there. But in essence, there is no teaching, there is no practice, there is no nothing. How can you steal the mind by the means of mental activity? It's a contradiction itself, right? So the mind of the seeker must be pure enough, so to speak, and the intellect have to be sharp enough. Meaning by enough, empty of belief and ideas and concepts and desires and all that stuff. So you can quickly get it done.
And also body, I think it's modified, it's calibrated.
The body will go through a radical change also.
So it's also receptive to that.
The subject is going to change from the cellular structure. Everything is going to change. Even your physical appearance may change. You may see yourself in the mirror and say this, you can't recognize it because something will change, right? Genes, the cells, everything will change. In some cases, it can be very uncomfortable. Okay? It can be very uncomfortable sometimes. And when you food poison, when you get food poison, okay, you will have to, so what the body wants to puke that out of itself, right? So it was going to be puked out. It may be uncomfortable, right? Some tendencies, right? Some fears, something there that you may not like to see, right? Because the ego wants to keep them under control, wants to keep them suppressed, repressed. It will rather when it is interested for them, but it will not let it surface for no rhyme, no reason, just to be seen, right? And it's like being naked. Oh my God. So all that will come up. But whatever is hidden there, dormant there, in a potential or latent state, it will show up, it will surface. These are the nightmares of the awakened ones, the dark nights of the awakened ones. You will have your little sweet dreams too, right? But ignore them too. Most of them are illusory. The dreamer itself is illusory. So if you give attention to the dreamer, which is I, which is the mind, the seer itself is the mind, then the mind is isolated from that. See? The mind cannot identify itself. Its sense of self cannot derive from what itself is manifesting. And then it will weaken. See, all this begins to. But this comes back to the mind, to the I. The you, he, she, it merges back into I. See, the object merges with the subject, right? And then the subject merges with consciousness, which is neither a subject nor an object. From where these thoughts are coming from me. And the thought comes back to I, the thinker. You, he, she, it merges into I, and then the I alone cannot survive because it needs he, she, or it to survive. It needs an object to survive. But this I is already apparently an object. See? So the first object that is grabbed I was saying that the first object that is grabbed is this one, right? And then it turns into a subject. The mind turns it into a subject, right? And then the object is something else. So the thought back to the thinker, which apparently is I. Caesar is the one that is thinking the thought. And the relative when Caesar is a thought, I am Caesar. It's a thought, right? So when this thought is free from other thoughts. See, when the mind is free from thoughts, it cannot survive. It will merge by itself, it will sink in its source.
But why it grabs the object? Why it grabs the object is like a tendency.
I can tell you any answer, right? There is not even a reason, a purpose, a meaning, it just happens like that. If you have a chance, read a book called Advaita Bohadipika, The Light of Wisdom, or Viveka Chudamani. It is also very well explained that there is no reason. There is no reason why the self didn't bring the illusion. And the illusion didn't bring itself. There is a power there in between. So it's something that there is neither this nor that. Make it happen. You call it Kundalini, call it whatever you like. It just happens like that. If we approach to this seriously, you will find that even the theory of Sankalpa doesn't exist. Sankalpa means divine will. The desire, God desires this thing. Which is spontaneous. And look at yourself. How the awakening state shows up. Spontaneous, right? And you go to sleep, and suddenly you are already in the dreaming state. How did it happen? Spontaneously. And suddenly, everything disappears. How? Spontaneously. And you will find that the self is not making any of that to happen. Self is just there because it cannot not be there, right? So there is a power within itself, right, that somehow gets activated and brings all that into existence. That power is called Maya, the illusion, the illusory power of the self. Illusory or illusory? Illusory. Illusory power, right? Or ignorance, it is called also.
That's the same power that now makes the
It's the same power that creation is not the right word, because creation demands the existence of time and space, right? These are the Trinity, the Indian Trinity, Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva. It creates, sustains, and destroys, right? So people say awakening state, Brahma, dream state, Shiva, Vishnu, right? Because it gives continuity to the illusion, right? And dream state, Shiva, the destroyer of what? Of the illusion of ignorance is gone. So these three are one, okay? Because there are three different names for the qualities of this power: to bring something into existence, to keep it for some time, and to destroy it, dissolve it, it's gone, right? Whether it is in the awakened state, by the means of what we understand by birth and death, right? This body was born, and now is death. It appears and disappears within the awakened state, but also as the appearance or disappearance of the other two states, awakened and dream state. Are you following? No. Am I going too fast?
No,
Gone.
so yeah.
Yes. Like Elsias said, I got fried along the way.
The last one I did. The previous
Yes.
I did, but
Okay. A banana, see, it comes, lasts for some time, and it disappears. So in the awakened state, there is also appearing and disappearing. Okay, but the awakened state also appears and disappears. So these are the three qualities of the mind, or the characteristic of the mind, right? It comes into existence, stays for some time, and it disappears, right? There is no rhyme nor reason or intention or meaning or purpose even. It just happens. If you are aware of being that which sees all that, I'm not doing any of it. See, I'm not the doer, right? I am the self. So there is no doer at all neither, because it's a spontaneous. There's something doing this. it spontaneously happens, right? So neither the self is the doer, nor the mind is the doer. Ask you the question, see, why do you bring waves into existence? Right? How did it happen? But can you separate who is bringing to the other into existence? See? So this is why Ramana said that the seeker must be happy with the theory of manifestation. It still is a theory, right? He said, forget about creation, manifestation, spontaneous manifestation. What is a manifestation is inseparable from the self. Then what was manifested? See, never was ever manifested. Because it always exists as the self.
Then what this Bible, the Bible, what is about?
Oh, Bible,
Like
no,
first day, second
the
day.
first day, second day, and the rest of the day, this is just theories for people that cannot grasp the
But
fact.
there were no days at all. It
And
was just straight away,
Yes, yes.
as it, like no beginning, no end.
So it is in the Upanishads. Okay. First thing that the Absolute manifested was a God, a creator, right? And then to do something for it, it's like the Absolute manifested a creator. So the Absolute is not the creator, right?
Mhm.
See, the creator arose from the Absolute to create something for the Absolute. The Veda says all this universe arose from the self, by the self, for the self. By the self, right? Then it says first he manifested a creator. And then the first thing the creator manifested was the seer. Right? But the seer without light cannot see. Let it be light. But without objects, the act of seeing cannot be. Let it be objects. Right? And then now you have the seer, the seen, and the act of seeing. Right? Which is the mind itself.
But is it chronological
It's supposed to be chronological,
or
but it's not as specific as the Bible, like in 7 days. But in all the scriptures, you have more or less the same analogies.
so there? Okay, I'll ask differently. So there was a time when there was no seer, no creator. So there was a moment in time there was only an absolute, and then they created.
Okay, fine. No, that's fine. Okay, let it be so. Now, let's go back to our experience. When the seer appear and the seeing and the act of seeing, when and how?
In the morning.
Spontaneously. Why? Because of this power.
So this is happening constantly. That's,
There's no beginning or end for it.
yeah, that's
There's no beginning or end for it.
so no beginning.
There was never a beginning, there will
That's
never
the
be an
problem
end.
I always think of as there was in the beginning, like
The-
the Bible in the beginning.
There are things that people don't grasp. Well, what to do? I'm not saying this is a judgment, it's just they can't, and that's all. Right? Ramana said that these universes are as old as the self. What does that mean? It's
Inseparable.
inseparable. If it is inseparable from the self, so if the self is beginningless and endless, and this is inseparable from the self, so the illusion is also beginningless and endless. And we speak about illusion still for the sake of explanation. because the illusion is the self. Now you read the Ribu Gita. The Ribu Gita, half of the book is I am not this, I am not this, I am not this, I am not this, I am that. I am not this, I am that. I am not this, I am that. So it's denying everything and affirming, I am that. But then, from the middle of the book until the end, all what it mentioned before I am not, I am also that. Right? But again, back to Carlitos. I don't know what I am, I don't know what I am not. Because what I am not and what I am, I am. Right? I know it sounds like a riddle, right? But it's
Not how I wrote it, but when I try to understand how I wrote it, I wrote it.
no, there's no how. There's no how. This is how it works. This is how it really works. Because this is not done by mind, right? Or by a me. Right? Everything else is done by I, whether it's here or there. If it is done by I here or there, how can it work? So what is really working, and the so-called sages or whatever you like to call them, is that that power is in that mood. See, in the destroying mood. This is why the sages are called the destroyers of ignorance. Guru means the one that destroys or removes ignorance, right? The destroyer, or the Shiva, blah, blah, blah. The one that destroys, removes ignorance, that removes the veil. What is the veil? I am the body. When he's telling you you are not the body, he's revealing you. Right? It's reveiling. It's removing the veil. Right? Reality which no practice is actually necessary. Again, for those who cannot understand this simple fact that all these scriptures came into existence to satisfy either the mental curiosity of the seeker or to satisfy the mental capacity of the seeker. And in a way, they keep on thinking about this, keeps them in the past, right? Thinking about a God that symbolically represents their own self.